And the Sentient World Simulation, SWS, went live in 2007, which represents every person on the planet within this computer matrix as a node, and every node is given an avatar, an identifier. And that is real-time, 24/7 monitoring of every person on the planet. This is primarily, but not exclusively, facilitated by the adiabatic quantum computers produced by D-Wave Corporation.
It comes down to a kind of system that resembles old-fashioned telephone system. You have like dial-in codes, and each frequency you give in, like do-do-do-do-do-do-do, every frequency you give in is switching on one single DNA element, making it open to take the next step. So basically what you can do with it is creating synthetic DNA or RNA that is possible to be activated with a dial-in sequence of frequencies. All they need is to kind of identify your DNA fingerprint with your name, and then they can watch you 24 hours a day. This is one part. The other part.
So we are running a GPS system.
Yes.
If you construct a model of the human brain, you can then plug people into this hive mind. So nanodiamonds being used for an MRI is exactly the same process of third strand of DNA, nanoparticles, that are receivers, just like in the MRI discussion here. They are receivers of the Overhauser effect signals for the purpose of mapping the human brain or the whole body in the hospital. But this is exactly the same ultra-low field MRI regime that is used to activate the third strand of DNA.
As an insider with detailed information of this entire fucking program and how it works from top to bottom, I am privy to some details that most are not. And that is that the true way that this technology works is that a complete DNA profile is obtained from the target, from the individual, the targeted individual. And then this information, the DNA of the individual, is used to determine the resonant frequency of the DNA itself. The resonant frequency is then used to fine-tune the technology, the radio frequency signals, the microwave auditory effect, and all of the other aspects of the technology to tune it perfectly to the resonant frequency of the targeted individual's DNA.
They are changing the spin of quantum particles in the mind. That's how the mind control operates. And it's important that people know the specific mechanisms that are taking place so that you see that this is real, this is tangible, this is provable evidence of what is going on. You know, people want to say conspiracy theorists. Well, we don't do that. We take the papers, the peer-reviewed papers, we take the articles of the hard science, we give you the technical nuts and bolts. And this all comes out of particle physics, folks. This is all about particle colliders, synchrotron particle accelerators, hard X-rays, looking at our DNA, looking at the proteins building the DNA, using these hard X-rays to infer their quantum construction patterns, their models. They do all of this in computer software, and now they're applying that same DNA process to the minds in order to, down at that, tubulin dimer level, be able to model exactly the electrical pathways, the electron flow within our human brains, from neuron to neuron, across synapse connections, all of those things across the dendrites. Everything is being modeled biologically.
The researchers decided to create a quantum version of a neural network using an approach known as variation quantum eigensolver, VQE, whereby instead of programming each computer in traditional bits, you have a single binary value of 0 or 1. The computers are trained to model quantum data using quantum bits or qubits that can be in superposition, so each qubit can have the value of 1 and 0 at the same time.
The Manhattan Project gave us the atomic bomb. The Genome Project gave us the human genome. The third great initiative could be the Connectome Project, to map the entire human brain. And that may take a quantum computer.
Understand that carbon is a conductive medium, so it can both send and receive signals. And that is exactly why the microtubules of our brains are composed of these Buckminster-Fullerene microtubules, is because they absorb signals, electromagnetic signals, and they transmit them, and that includes photons. And that's the primary vehicle of transmitting data from DNA, which is your memories. The data within the DNA is transferred within the brain and processed within the brain, because that's all the brain is. It is not a storage medium. It is a processor.
And this means communications could be done mentally. What I'm saying is that the internet will be replaced by BrainNet.
The true holy grail in terms of this technology is DNA resonant frequency. It taps right into the DNA, and it does it remotely by resonating with the exact frequency that your DNA resonates.
DNA comprises our brains. It produces our brains. They are doing exactly what they did with DNA with a human brain. The mind operates on multiple frequency levels, but I'm going to just give you one specific. Okay? The luminosity resulting from the collision of subatomic particles in the colliders inside the detectors at CERN produce identical frequencies as to the mind. Again, the mind has multiple frequencies, but they are reproducing through collisions of particles two of the frequencies within which the mind operates. And you better believe that they're operating at all of the various frequency ranges, alpha and beta ranges of the mind. Does that mean that CERN is directing mind control systems? No. It means that they're doing the research and development that is then applied to the supercomputer systems like D-Wave for the purpose of, in the environment of the sentient world simulation, for the purpose of controlling people's minds.
Once you have connected the targeted individual with the frequency and they resonate together, then you have a perfect avenue upon which to send and receive information back and forth. And that's exactly how they manipulate someone's thoughts. They send voices into someone's head. They manipulate their emotions. They manipulate their behavior. And then that's also how they receive back from the individual in real time the vital signs, the emotions, the thoughts, what the person's seeing, what the person's hearing. And then all that information, of course, is rendered on a computer elsewhere via software, and it can be monitored and tracked in real time.